Lessons Learnt. I'm Sherry, and this is Finish It Friday. Get to see what I got done this week and what some of you have gotten done this week. It has been a productive week. I just want to start out by saying that the Longarm Fest is going as expected. I have 2 complete finishes, binding and all. I have the 3rd one on the long arm. I messed up the first row. I did not size the design correctly, and it overlapped a little bit. And in trying to decide, does it look okay overlapped? Can I get away with that? I let it run all the way across before I decided, no, I'm not going to like this. So my first kind of big unstitching project I have going on now. Fortunately, it is a small quilt. It is only 40, I think it's measuring about 46 inches across. So I only have that much to do, and it is a big swirl thing. So I don't have that much detail to pick out. But however, I do have to pick it out and start over. So that's where I am right now. And I will get to those finishes in just a minute. I have made some separate clips of the 2 that I have done. And, well, why don't we just go ahead into those clips. The first one is a top that was in my cabinet that already had binding and backing ready. So I went ahead and put that on and got it out of the way right off the bat. So here is the video of that one. Okay, here is quilt number 1 in my end of year 2024 Long Arm Quilt Fest. This is the bow tie quilt that we did somewhat together here a few months ago, and got it all quilted. So let's take a closer look. I did a little flower pattern on it. There you can kind of see there's a couple of big flowers, and then there's like a series of 4 small flowers. Very cute. And then I bound it and backed it in the same fabric, and that is called In Bloom or something like that. You've probably seen it before. It's kind of an older mode of fabric, I believe. And so there we go. Just the beginning of many long-armed quilts. Very cute, wasn't it? That was from a little video series that I had not too awful while back. It was kind of sort of going to be a sew-along, or I had invited some of you to do it along with me, and some of you did, and you sent your finishes in, and we enjoyed that. But I just now got mine completely quilted and bound. So that was number 1. So here I'm going to show you next is number 2. Remember this? This was the 2022 Fat Quarter Shop Designer Mystery Sew Along using Nantucket Summer fabric by Camille Roskelly. That was a mouthful. You watched me work on this for a year. So yeah, I decided to put this on the long arm reluctantly because I was nervous about quilting it. It's a big accomplishment, so I didn't want to mess it up. I need to have more confidence in myself, I know. So let's take a little bit closer look at the blocks. Some of you may have even made this. I'm going to do the 2025 Block of the Month Designer Mystery with Fat Quarter Shop again. It's very cloudy today, and I don't know if that's good or bad for video, but that's what I have to work with. So This pattern that I put on here of the quilting is called Milky Way, and it's a little more open, which is what I wanted, and I wanted something with no harsh edges to it. So I like how the quilting turned out. I had one little hiccup with it after the first row. If something's going to happen, it's usually right after the first row. At least that's my experience. But I got it back on track, and I only had to take out about 10 inches of stitches, so wasn't a disaster or anything. So let's look closer at the backing. Isn't this lovely? Again, this is from Camille's Nantucket Summer line, and then also the binding is hers. So there she is. I feel really good about this one. Very nice. Turned out very nice. And halfway square, I think. There we go. Let's just hang on to see what's next. So like I said, that was a little nerve-wracking because I really wanted it to come out nice. It did come out nice. I only had one little rough patch. I think I mentioned it in the video clip. And it wasn't anything that took very much time at all to deal with. So, yeah, I got 2 complete finishes and another one on the way. So I'll probably do that this weekend. I'll probably get that other one worked out. Also, the other thing that I have done this week is the Block Wednesday, and we had our last block, which is this one, block number 9. And there again, as I was talking about last week, I was trying to bring in some of these colors. And instead of doing, according to her pattern, she had the center of the star as 4 pieces, just 4 different squares of 2 different colors. So I decided to just do, what do you call that? I can't think of the name of it right now. Feature block, feature center to my star. So the only thing with that is once I put it up here, I thought, well, that does kind of tie from here to there because I have the same one up there. But I think I would have rather used this print, but in the lighter blue shade. It's in kind of a medium blue shade. This one is. It's in a lot of the shades, but I think I could have stood to have had a medium blue one, but it's okay. I like the block really well, and everything is coordinated because I did it as I went where they are positioned, so I don't have to move anything around. What's going to happen on this now is there is a 4-inch sash that goes here and here, and that will have to be this cream color, and I used Riley Blake of the color Putty for that, which is one of my favorite background or plain pieces that you use in a quilt pattern. Over here I'm trying to decide, so there's another strip that goes all the way around and a little cornerstone like these in each corner. So I'm trying to decide, this is going to be my outer border because that's what I bought it for, and then either this shade or this shade I'm going to put around as the small outer border, and then the other one I'll use as the binding. So I'm kind of thinking the blue and then go back to this for the binding, and that will tie into these strip sets or strip sashing set, whatever you want to call it. So what do you think about that? If you want to give your opinion on those over there. I don't have enough fabric to do that color in the center. I just got like a yard or so of each of those, so it's going to be kind of iffy whether or not I can use what I have. I think a yard should get me around this at 2.5 inches. It's not a very big quilt, but the other one I've cut off of the 1 yard piece to get these, so it's a little bit less. So I haven't calculated if that one would even work. I'll do that before I make my decision, start cutting strips. So let's go on in to your finishes this week. That was all that I had. The Wednesday video, if you're doing that sew along, or if you want to see what the row looks like for this week, I don't have it up here because it goes across and I didn't want to have to take it down. Well, I can show you. I can show you kind of, if you haven't been watching the Wednesday videos. This is row number 4, and it has three of these, and I think they look like frogs or something. I don't know, but I like them. I think it's going to look good in the quilt when it's all put together. One more row on that sew along. And if you want to go to the video also, just for the purpose of seeing what was turned in this week for pictures from those participating, you can just go to the end of that video. Alright, let's get in here and see what we got. Quite a bit. Let's see here. The first one that we have is from Shirley. She says, "Hi Sherry, this quilt is first jelly roll one I pieced last November when I started sewing again after 20 plus years of giving it up. I backed it with a cuddle, also did the binding with the cuddle, and that was not fun for me due to machine issues. It is so soft and snuggly. I do not do the quilting. I use a lady in the guild I belong to. Shirley is in Alaska. I love your jelly roll quilt. It's an easy pattern, and I'm sorry you had troubles with the Minky. I never have troubles with that, but it can be a little bit slick to work with. And I love the color. The color of the Minky is just, I really like that color. And the design that your Longarmer put in, it looks good too. Very nice. Thank you, Shirley. Here's one from Carol. And she says, one of my goals this year was to turn in 12 quilts for charity. These are the last 3 of 12. Thank you for doing your shows. I look forward to each one. Thank you, Carol. Glad to do it. The first one she did here was in a pink, green, and cream. And the big blocks in between are kind of a pink, gray, and black. Little small print, looks like. And you did some sideways quilting, straight line quilting on that, and it looks good. Good job. Your second one is a multicolored one. I like this one. I like the other one too, but I like this one because of the colors more. With the cheddary orange in there, red, green, brown, and then all the funky flowers and bubbles and buttons and things like that are on it. Very cute design. And there again, you did just a kind of a cross hatch type of pattern. Very good. And then here's a little bit softer one where she used a kind of a peaches pink rose color and green with a blue. I like that line. Very, very vintagey looking. And there again, you did some cross hatching with that. Looks great. Good for you getting your 12 quilts. These are the last 3 of 12, you said. So you made it. Yay, Carol. Go, Carol. What are you going to do next year? Danae has some finishes, but it's not a quilt. But I want to show this because it's just cool. And this might give you some ideas for your home. She says, Sherry, this may not be a quilt finish, but it still pertains to my quilts. A couple months ago, I happened upon a small gun cabinet for a very good price. I had seen a similar posting on one of the social media platforms and thought that this was a great idea. As you can see, I have painted the cabinet a pale mint green and placed my quilts inside. It currently resides on the landing of my stairwell. I absolutely love it. I love it too. I really do. I have a glass cabinet that I'm using. It's actually it was called a curio, but it went with a dining room set that I no longer have. But I kept the curio, but it has a glass front like that, and it's just a perfect way to store all your finished quilts. And you can get them in and out of there and hang them in different places. You can gift some of them, but in the meantime, you get to see them. So that's the idea, right? Very, very good. I love the light mint green you used. Here's one from Karen. She says, hello, Sherry. I completed this quilt for my coworker friend who has had 2 cancer surgeries this year, one being a double mastectomy in October. I used her favorite colors, and my local quilt shop helped me pick out these fabrics by Hoffman, Bali Floral Wildflower, and Bali Watercolor Tupelo. The pattern is Fabric Cafe called Elation. I love the colors and design. Thank you so much. Thanks for sending it. Yeah, I love the choices that were made here, and I particularly like the design of this and how you have those little corner pieces in the white part, and it just looks kind of like it's floating in there. I like that effect that it made. She's going to love this, Karen. Good for you. And I hope she recovers nicely from her surgeries and so on in the future. This will definitely comfort her. Pat from Washington State. She says, using a panel and companion fabric and adding stars for cornerstones, a quilt for a family of construction workers. It was fun to piece together, and where I needed orange striped fabric, I made my own by sewing strips together for bottom row block. Fussy cutting signs were used in center of stars to complete. Great idea. A family of construction workers. Awesome. This is perfect. They're going to love that if you haven't already given it to them. Looks like maybe you still need to quilt it. Not sure. But yeah, they're going to really enjoy that. Dee Dee says, after dragging my feet all the crazy, unfortunate, busy life events this year, this quilt is finally done. Woohoo! I started this 3-yard quilt by Fabric Cafe in June, maybe July. It's called Park Place, but I named it Farmall on Park Place. Farmall on Park Place. Because of the tractor. I enlarged the quilt by adding an extra 2 borders. I was so excited when I found the charcoal fabric. It reminds me of tire treads. I think it worked perfectly. I also used it for the backing. I sent this to Mary Kendall of Broken Dishes Quilting, my long arm quilter when I'm not long arming myself, and let her do the quilting. She did a fantastic job. I'm more than happy with it. Thank you, Mary. I can't wait to gift it on Saturday, then I'll post on the Facebook group. Thank you for all you do for us. Have a wonderful weekend. Yes. Now you've done another tractor. Was it you that did another tractor quilt one time? But I love how you've coordinated your fabrics. You did a great job. Nice farm themed fabric and quilt. And I agree with you. I think that print that you used kind of mimics tractor tires, doesn't it? Kathy. This is a quilt that my mom pieced together by hand and never finished it before she passed. I think she intended it to be larger, but I left it as it was and had a local person long arm it for me. After viewing many videos on bias binding and scalloped borders, I finally got the courage to put the binding on. I will be sending this to my brother for Christmas this year. It measures 70 by 86. I have no idea what pattern this is, and fabric is just fabric she used from her stash. Wow, that's a great quilt. She did some curves. She did some orange pill type of curves, didn't she? And good for you for going out on a limb on that border. I like it. It suits this quilt perfectly. You could have easily just squared that off, but you didn't. You left the roundness along the edges, and it just made a great finish to it. Nice, very nice. Dolores has baby blankets. Let's see what she has here. I have not seen this. Yes, these are the purple ones. The purple and lavender and white. And she just did a whole bunch of half square triangles there. And the other one is a little bit different configuration. Yeah, this is a totally different one. I was thinking something else. This is something she did for her granddaughter who was needing a baby quilt for a shower. So she had this panel and she put some nice quilting on it, freehand quilting, and a crisscrossy plaid binding on it, and it turned out perfect. Very cute panel with all the animals on there. Okay, good job everyone. Thank you for sending those in. It made for a great show. And we'll look forward to doing this again next Friday. Send in your finishes. Anybody else finishing this up? Be sure and send those over. Like I said, I'm going to try to get this finished up. Maybe I'll just throw that on the long arm while I'm at it and get that one done for next week's long arm fest. I know I have backing for it already, so I could completely finish that one. All right, so thanks for hanging out with me too today and looking at the video clips of my finished quilts. Keep encouraging me along on this. I'm enjoying it so far. I don't have any intentions of not carrying out what I said, but a little encouragement here and there will do me good. All right, we'll see you back here on Monday for Monday Quilt Chat, and then back again on Wednesday for row 5 of our sew along, and back again Finish It Friday. Send your photos in according to the suggestions, the requirements that I have in the description box. Thank you so much for paying attention to those. Makes it a lot easier for me. And then I think that's it. The other thing I always want to tell you is get in your sewing room and do something this weekend. Sew a little something up. Maybe take a small project, a little tote bag, a little basket, or a little wall hanging. Just sew something up that you can start and finish all this weekend. That would be a cool thing to do. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.